let us look at the types of function based on what we learned in the previous session. The previous session, we took time to understand the degrees of a function. So now let's see what we are driving at by trying to learn the degree of a function, or how can we use the degree of a function to classify functions. Yes, so let's you have that in this section. So here I will talk about, so if you're able to fetch the degree, so I will say the degree is here, right? Then let me set this part to be um, function name. So function type, yes, function type, and then let me take this third part to be the graph. How each graph appears, right? Yeah, let's have an idea. We are just going to have a general idea about them. Okay. So now, when the degree of a function is zero, when the degree of function is one, when the degree of function is two, and when the degree of function is three. So these are the ones that we'll be using at for our level, right? Or mostly. But then degree of function is zero, one, two, and three. So if we find a function and realize that the degree of that function is zero, right? What's the function type that we give to there? We say that that function is a constant function. So it's a constant function. So the graph, right, appears to be a straight line. So talking of the x and y axis, right? So let's say if this one is the y axis, this one is the x axis, then the graph itself appears to be in a straight line. Simple like that. That's what a constant function is. So if the degree of the function is zero, then you see you sketch the graph. If you say sketch, that means that you don't need to actually have every point at the other side, but give an overview how the thing will look like. So the graph or the sketch will look something like this, right? Now let's look at the next one. The next one, when the degree is one, when the degree of a particular function is one, we say that function is a linear function. It's a linear function. And then the graph looks going up or going down. Going up and going down also depends on something else we call the gradient or the slope, right? That is a different concept on its own. But right now, let's know that when it is linear, right, it's either going up or it's either going down. That's how the graph look like. Now, if the function is having a degree 2, we see that function is a quadratic function. Quadratic function. Quadratic function. And then quadratic function has two slopes, right? The degree, like, kind of like, look at it like as if it's a slope. Slope is like the bending. So is that two slope, up and down, or coming down and going up? So it's something like that. So you see that this side goes up and this guy goes down in the in the same thing, right? This one will go down and go up. So you see that the slopes are two. So that's why the degree is also like two because of that. So it's quadratic. Quadratic look like that. They look like a bow going, showing like pouring down or pouring up, something like that. And then degree three. When the degree is three, right? You see the function is cubic function. Cubic function. So if they are using this name, meaning they are classifying the function based on the degree. And for the function for the cubic function, right? It's there go up, down, up, because degree is three, right? So you need to have three slopes. One slope, another side bending, another side bending, the same thing. So you have three. Or we can have it like down, up, down. So you see that this slope is coming down, this one goes up, this one coming down. So you have three slopes. So the degree is three. That's how it also look like. So let me clean the arrows so that it will not be like the arrows apart. I was just trying using it to show you what we actually mean by that. Let me clean this side. Um, it seemed when I was cleaning, one portion of it was for this side, so right, up, down, up. Yes. So yeah, so this is a type of function, right? So if you look at an example, so if I have a function like f of x, this is equal to 3t squared minus 5. The degree of this function is what? Zero. Zero. We know why. We know why the degree of this function is zero. Look at what the previous session to understand. Right? So the degree of this function, you say you should sketch this function, we just do a straight line. So if I have f of s is equal to um, 3x plus 1. So you see that this is a linear function. So I either go up or go down. This one, it will go up. I will explain later. I will explain this in the previous session. Or we say sketch, right? Right now, let's say up or down. Right? One of them is more valid. And this guy is supposed to be the correct thing. But then we'll talk about that later. So now, I say f of x is equal to 3t squared minus 1. So 3t squared. So the degree is 2. No, the degree is 0, right? So let me do f of t. So right, the degree will be 2. The degree here is 2, right? So we go up, down, like that, or down, up, something like that. Then let me do the last one. F of t is equal to 3t squared. 3t cubed minus 3t. So this is like that. The degree is 3. So we have up, or down, up, down, something like that. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is how the graphs look like. Let's go back here and look at it. So if the degree is 0, right? The degree is 0, the function will be what? The degree is 0, the function will be a constant function, and the graph will be a straight graph. If the degree is 1, the function will be a linear function, and the graph will go up or down. If the degree is 2, right, the function will be called a quadratic function, and then it will have what? 2 slopes, and then 3 cubic function has 3 slopes, something like that. Yeah. Now we have to look at the very last examples of functions, the very last examples of functions in the next session. Then we'll now go to understand domains of a function.